Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. Today is Friday, February the 25th, 2011. It's time to look at the markets, so check it out. Okay, this week we started off the week in the U.S. on Tuesday. The rest of the markets were open on Monday, and it was all about basically ending the uptrend we've been seeing. We finally got a series of lower lows on the candlesticks, and that would have stopped you out if you were using a trailing stop on many of the indexes regarding equities. We'll talk about that today, and we'll show you the commodities as well. So let's start off with Australia, and then we'll go around the globe. First thing here was we had buy opportunities here, trade to the upside, get stopped out right there. Buy opportunity here, keeps going higher and higher, and then you get stopped out right there. Okay, so right now you'd be in cash. She is still in an uptrend right here. All right, you got to respect that trend. She can continue to advance to the upside here, and that may happen and may not, but you don't want to make the mistake of trying to call tops. Don't do it. It's not something you can successfully do over and over again consistently, and therefore it's actually going to cost you money. If you're right now shorting, hoping this is the peak, you may get disappointed. You will notice right now there is a wick out of the bottom of this candlestick right here that is showing up just like it was here, just like it was here, and here, and here, and here. There's still buy pressure along that uptrend line right there. That's why you don't want to be trying to call the top here. You still got to respect the trend, okay? I'm not going to be long here. I wouldn't be short. I'd just be watching it next week. Quick look here at the Dow Jones Industrial Average here in the U.S. You'll notice we were overextended above the RSI 70 line, so the pullback was not a surprise here. We also mentioned a couple weeks ago we had closed above the upper Bollinger Band line a couple times. That can do that for a while, but sooner or later you're going to get a pullback, right? So that's starting to happen there. But again, you will notice the uptrend, major uptrend here is in effect. This is not a bearish engulfing. It's close, but it's not, and therefore you don't have a sell signal. You can't just jump on this on the sell side and call this the peak. Let me show you something. Back here, we brought out our new trading model and said this is a buy signal to us. We'd be a buyer, and a whole bunch of people were saying you're buying the top. Well, guess what? It wasn't the top. All right, back here on this particular day, a lot of people said that was the peak and it was going to sell off, and guess what? It wasn't the peak. The point I'm trying to draw out here is that you don't know the exact point that the market's going to reverse. Instead of guessing or hoping, let it tell you, let it show you what it's going to do. Back here, it shows you a bullish engulfing. That tells you that buy pressure supersedes sell pressure. You got more room to go move to the upside. Back here, you saw the same thing. Back here, same thing. Until you get a bearish engulfing, where the candlestick bearishly engulfs the previous one, you don't want to try to tell the market what it's going to do. Let it tell you, okay? So for now, we're simply in cash watching. We could still see some more moves to the downside here. We haven't actually touched this uptrend line here, so we could still see some more moves to the downside next week. And I'd be in cash just watching for direction. Okay, gold is the first commodity we're going to be looking at today. As I mentioned before, this one down here, we told you could play this on the long side, not on this chart. The GLD chart was the way to play that. It was the one that gave us a nice bullish engulfing signal there. Right now, you'd be advancing your stop to at least the low point of this candlestick, this current candlestick. If you get stopped out, then you'll be out with a nice gain there. Otherwise, continue to trade to the upside. All right, a quick look here at the Hang Seng Index. If you want to look at the Hong Kong Hang Seng, this one's getting a little bit tricky right now. Note this 22.4. All right, that was the resistance line back here. Now note this low point, 22.4, 22.4. What you're seeing here is resistance acting as support. All right, we do have a bearish engulfing signal here, which is a sell signal, and she has pulled back down, testing this trend line here, as well as this support line here. You may see some more of that, but it is tricky because it is also a possible just consolidation upon the previous resistance now acting as support, and that could be forming a base and basically move sideways, just up, down, up, down, up, down, this kicking pattern you see at tops and bottoms. So if you start to see that, of course, it could actually reverse back to the upside and support and so on. So I keep an eye on it. If you're going to be short, which is the only call you could do right now based on this previous one, you've got to keep a tight stop on it, okay? Let me clear that up a little bit. All right, so if you're going to be shorting this, you have to keep a tight stop. Here would be the logical stop there, and if you shorted it, you would have to respect that stop. India Bombay Stock Exchange has been in a good downtrend since back here. We had a nice sell signal. Here we had one as well, but it was the first one. You have, the uptrend was still in effect at that time, and therefore it's a higher risk. At this point, you had a series of lower highs, and therefore it was a better trade opportunity. Down she goes, have another one here, and now we've got another one this week. You're looking at the most current, in this case you're shorting, so in the most current high point was going to be your stop, 1 cent above this 18,690, so 18,691 would be the stop right there, and you could short here and look for this to continue to test this downtrend line, this blue one here. All right, that could happen as well. Keep an eye on that. Don't want to be a buyer for certain there. I do not recommend trying to attempt to call market bottoms and so forth and so on. It's like trying to call a top. You can't do it consistently, successfully. Therefore, it's a waste of your time. Let the market tell you what it wants to tell you and follow that trend. Right now, it's telling you bulls are weak and bears are very strong. Quick look here at London Financial Times Index, the FTSE. You'll notice the uptrend line. We've talked about this repeatedly. Okay, we've tested this several times. Back here, you had a sell signal. In this particular case, a sell signal when you're in an uptrend is a weak sell signal because you only expect it to come down and test the trend line. That's what happened. It bounced off of it. You've got another bearish engulfing here. This candlestick bearishly engulfs the previous, but it's already pulled down and touched that uptrend line there. So it's a very weak sell signal, and I would personally pass on it. Just kind of keep an eye on it. You don't want to be long this market right now. You were at buy opportunity back here. You could trade it up, and you got stopped out right there. A quick look here at the NASDAQ here in the U.S. This one we got stopped out of back here. She's bounced around, but we don't have a clear entry or sell signal, buy or sell signal at this current time. So we're just going to keep watching it. We've been watching it for the past few weeks, waiting for some kind of a signal for the market to tell us whether it's going to be going higher or going lower. Remember, they can always go higher and they can always go lower. So let it tell you what the direction is going to be. Right now, we are pulling back, which is good, being that we were overextended above the RSI 70 line. That makes sense to me, and it should be that way, but it also gives it a potential for another bullish engulfing setup. Like back here, you had a little sell-off for a couple of weeks, and then a bullish engulfing told you you're going to have another move to the upside. This could set up to the exact same thing, or you could turn around and develop into a downtrend with a sell signal, but wait for the signal. Oil remains a major noteworthy commodity to be monitoring here. You do have a buy signal in effect. You have an uptrend in effect. You are overextended. Note the RSI way above the 70 line, but they can stay that way for a little while. So don't just think because it gets up there it has to sell off. Just keep advancing your stop. As long as she wants to go higher, follow it up. But as soon as she makes a series of lower lows, note the low point here. Next one's higher. Next one's higher. As long as that's the trend, stay with it. But as soon as one breaks to a new series of lows like this, right, from this, then you can say, okay, I'm stopped out, wait for another signal. You've got another signal here telling you to go long, you just follow it up. Russell 2000 Small Cap Index. This one does the same thing that we saw happen on the NASDAQ, where it's been in cash for a few weeks here, just watching this particular index. We don't have a buy signal or a sell signal. Until we get that, we're not going to make a move at all. Congrats to everybody who made money on the SPX. Here was your buy signal back here where people said we were buying the very top, and in fact we weren't. You notice the low points, higher, 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 higher. Every single one of them was higher than the previous. She was in a very strong uptrend, and you got stopped out right there. She pulled back. Notice this is not a bearish engulfing, so therefore it's just a pullback at this moment, and she pulled back to touch that uptrend line that we have right here, starting back here. All right, so all she's done is bounced off that. This could develop into a sell-off. This could develop into another move to the upside. You've had one, you've had two, you can see three. So keep an eye on it, see what happens, but don't tell it what it's going to do. Let it tell you. Silver is another nice move to the upside here. You should be advancing your stop that was here, up here. You'll notice on this particular chart, you do not have a bullish engulfing, but we told you could have used another method like we did with gold. How we used the GLD, the ETF of gold, to actually find an opportunity. You could have done that with an ETF perhaps, or an individual miner or something like that. But whatever you're doing, you should be advancing your stop to each low of each candlestick until it reverses. You continue to trade to the upside. This is starting to look like a kind of some weakness here, some consolidation. You've noticed you got a hanging man candlestick formation there. Keep your stop right there. Good job making that money. Last but not least is Canada's markets. We've been stopped out. We had a sell signal here, but it would be a weak one. Notice the uptrend. So you'd only expect to sell to the trend line. You got that. She bounced off, but she didn't give us a good bullish engulfing signal on this chart, so we couldn't take that. She's been bouncing around to the upside here. Getting a little overextended, but she's not doing anything at the moment that I can use, long or short, okay? For those of you who do not know, you can go to our free website at perfectstockalert.com. It's 100% free. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. You'll notice here on the home page is a video going over our trading model, how it works and why it works. And also there's lots of really cool free stuff here, chart school, market videos, market alerts, ETF page, and all kinds of stuff there. And also check out our portfolio at the start of the new month. We're going to be doing some pretty radical stuff there. We've been working for the past month in the portfolio on fine-tuning some of the elements that we want to incorporate, into this trading model, and we expect to move forward with that starting in the following month. So keep that in mind. Have a quick look at our disclaimer. Read it and weep. God bless. Take care. Enjoy your weekend and be safe.